Thank you, George. Good morning. On behalf of my colleagues from the 15 NITRD partner agencies, I would like to welcome you to this symposium to mark 20 years of NITRD. Let me extend my sincere thanks also to the CCC, CRA, and NCO staff and members of the organizing committee inside and outside the government for their efforts in making this event a reality. And of course, special thanks to Ed, Sue, and Erwin for all the things that they have done in making this happen. Please join me in thanking them for dedication. We all recognize that a breathtaking pace of advances has brought networking and information technologies into the forefront of science, medicine, commerce, transportation, arts, in ways that were barely imaginable even 20 years ago. These advances have transformed the way we work, the way we live, the way we play, learn, and communicate. Today, networking and information technology is at the center of an ongoing societal transformation and will continue for many decades. It underpins our economic prosperity and national security. It is in an increasing global market. It's a driver of U.S. competitiveness and has played a vital role in our economic growth through innovation and idea-driven creative industries. It also accelerates the pace of discovery and innovation in nearly all fields of science and engineering inquiry. Equally important, computer science and information technology forms a pervasive intellectual fabric that connects a wide range of disciplines, recognizing that scientific discovery and technological innovation are at the core of our response to national and societal challenges, from sustainability, energy, transportation, education and workforce development, to healthcare, public safety, cybersecurity, and national defense. And of course, many of tomorrow's breakthroughs will occur at the intersection of diverse disciplines, and computer science and information technology is in the middle of all of those conversations. The latest report by the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology on the NITRD program, in fact, offers a very compelling case for networking and information technology as a national imperative. This report, which was released in December of 2010, was developed by a working group led by David Shaw, Ed Lazaska, with significant input from the community. It brings to focus the benefits that have achieved through our nation's 20 years of investments, coordinated investment, I should say, in the NITRD program. And I quote, "Recent technological and societal trends place the further advancement and application of networking and information technology squarely at the center of our nation's ability to achieve essentially all of our priorities and to address essentially all of our challenges." Consider for a moment the enormous economic impact of information technology over the last 20 years. The enormous economic impact, it's not only from the growth of the IT industry, which we're all familiar with, but to a greater extent from IT-enabled productivity gains from across the entire economy. Consider a couple of essentially data points here. Since 1995, networking and information technology industries accounted for 25% of U.S. economic growth. The use and production of IT has accounted for roughly 2/3 of the post-1995 step-up in labor productivity growth. The IT sector, as we know, is a job generator or a job creator. IT jobs have grown 4 times faster than non-IT jobs between 1999 and 2008, and on average, they pay 75% more. Just ask our students at various academic institutions, they'll tell you that. Furthermore, over the last decade, IT has played a vital role in the diversification of regional economies to include innovation and idea-driven creative industries. Consider the role of simulation, for example, modeling, computational tools, coupled with data-enabled techniques in today's advanced manufacturing, just as a data point. The economic impact of computing and information technology can also be measured in terms of new markets and billion-dollar companies and industries that have been created, whose origins can be traced to basic research. Several studies by the national academies on the role of federal investment in basic IT R&D, including the 2009 report on assessing the impact of changes in the IT R&D ecosystem, highlights this issue. The tire track figure, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with, and you see this on the screen, illustrates some of the many cases in which fundamental research in information technology conducted in our universities, in our industrial research labs, in our government labs, has led to entirely new markets and billion-dollar companies and industries 10 to 15 years later. And all of these cases have clear roots in federally sponsored research. No doubt that the federal government has and will continue to have an essential role in enabling fundamental research in computer science and information technology. There's no question about that. The tire track figure also demonstrates the complex innovation ecology that's at work here. The interplay between the public and the private sector, and the flow of ideas and people across these sectors. To create a successful and vibrant discovery and innovation ecosystem, you need a bunch of things. You need leading-edge universities and research labs. You need scientists and engineers in a flexible, talent-rich market, labor market. You need a vibrant private sector that's catalyzed by American entrepreneurial spirit. You have government investment in research and education. That's the building blocks of discovery and innovation. You, of course, have to have public and private partnerships that promote competitive markets and spur productive entrepreneurship through promotion of innovative communities. And of course, you need advanced computational and data infrastructure, and of course, you need access to healthy and vibrant capital markets. What's extraordinary here is that this productive interplay of these parts of federally funded university research and government labs, privately funded industrial labs, and of course, companies founded and staffed by people who move back and forth between academia and industry, is, as the NIS report that I pointed to earlier, the principal reason for dramatic advances in information technology and the subsequent increase that we have seen in innovation and productivity in the country. This flow of ideas and people, stimulated by investments in research, is a critical element of the IT R&D ecosystem. Another important interaction of IT discovery and innovation system is that of research ideas. The interaction of research ideas multiply their impact and seed new ideas with potential to lead to unanticipated advances. Consider, for example, the ubiquitous digital economy across the US and across the world that's been seeded and nurtured by NITRD in partnership, of course, with research, academic research community, and of course the private sector. If you see this in that diagram, starting with early investments in internet, web browsers, search engine, public key cryptography, database technology, and transaction processing, to recent advanced investments in wireless technologies, mobile devices, recommender, reputation systems, online auctioning systems, collaboration technologies, and on and on. In fact, you can now consider some of the emerging advances in ubiquitous broadband access, big data, socially intelligent computing, cloud computing, machine learning, tailored and trustworthy cyberspace, and so on and so on. And that's just one example. But it's important to note that there's often a long, unpredictable incubation period requiring steady work and funding from the initial exploration to transfer of knowledge from lab to practice to eventual commercial deployment and, of course, creation of new markets and industries. But probably what's really important to recognize here is that unanticipated outcomes are often as important as the anticipated ones. Folks, there's no doubt, there's overwhelming consensus that our investments in networking and information technology, research and education have returned exceptional, I should say, dividends to our nation. Sustaining the IT ecosystem is a national imperative. To keep those benefits flowing, we need to constantly replenish the wellspring of new ideas and train new talent. And we're not done yet. We need to drive advances in computer science and information technology to address our national priorities. Simply put, our economic prosperity and societal well-being depends on it. And in the next couple of minutes, I want to just share a vision with you that's partially enabled, and of course, it's going to be reinforced through much of the activities that's going to come in the NITRD community in the coming decade. Imagine a world where static infrastructures, such as buildings and bridges, are transformed into smart spaces that can sense, respond, and adapt to changes in the environment, or can continuously monitor and identify risk, moderate the impact of failures, and avoid disasters. These are future cyber-physical systems, enabled by low-power sensors, network instrumentation, software control, and yes, verified by model checking. That was for you, Jeanette. Where are you? Imagine a world where we can forecast and mitigate ecological changes. By developing rich ecological and environmental monitoring systems, we can create accurate computational models that support forecasting, management, and increasingly stressed resources. Imagine a world where well-being is pervasive and healthcare is personalized, where we can improve quality of life for all citizens through personalized healthcare and assistive technologies, enabled in part by robust, usable, and trustworthy wearable mobile devices integrated with instrumented environments, and in part enabled by integration, fusion, mining, and analysis of massive data sets. We can create a healthcare system that helps people prevent and manage chronic and acute diseases in their own everyday context, co-robots, assistive technologies that extend independent living for seniors, and device worn or embedded in homes that can report adverse health effects. Imagine a world where we can efficiently manage energy through the deployment of intelligent sensors and distributed controls and decision capabilities. These smart grids will improve resource utilization, reduce congestion, and enable real-time response and real-time pricing. In case of emergency response, imagine a world where during time of natural or national emergency, unmanned search, rescue, and recovery is a reality through the use of autonomous, highly coordinated vehicles. And of course, this is the promise of distributed low-power sensing and control combined with advances in robotics, in vision, in perception, cognition, machine learning, natural language understanding, and robust human-computer interaction. And imagine a world where Butler-Ramson's grand challenge is a reality. Traffic fatalities no longer exist. You will be able to drive your car safely and securely to your destination, where traffic fatalities are uncommon rather than a daily event. And of course, we can imagine a world where cyberspace is safe and secure and private, enabling assured use of our information network and critical infrastructure, enhancing our homeland security and national defense, and preserving our individual liberty. As I just mention, this is just a beginning. Advances in networking and information technology promise to reshape our world with more responsive, more secure, and more efficient systems that transform the way we live, drive economic prosperity, underpin our national security, and enhance our societal well-being. And folks, today we're in for a treat. During the course of the day, you'll hear from a number of thought leaders in the NITRD community who will reinforce many of these themes. Thank you very much.